Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host, Gungo Mildred, and I'm so happy that you've joined me on another Saturday for another amazing episode. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about childhood traumas, my childhood traumas. I know everybody has their own issues, but mine, okay, hey. I'm not going to talk about the very serious ones because I've had those, and mostly, no, those ones bring me to tears. I don't want to talk about those. I think maybe they are more of embarrassing moments than they were traumatic, but yeah, they're still traumatic because such things shouldn't be happening. So I don't know where I should start from. It's just a few stories. So I'm going to start with a story that happened in my childhood when I was still, I don't know what class I was in, but I went to the village with my grandma. And when we were leaving from the village to Nairobi, somebody gave me a chicken. So I don't remember. I think it was either my grandmother's sister's place, and it was my grandmother's home, like where she was born, not her home where she lives now. So I don't remember where it was really. But while we were coming back to Nairobi, I was given a chicken. You know how that happens in the village? You're given unashikiwa kuku. So they give me this chicken and I go back to Nairobi with it. It was still very young. And so we come back to Nairobi with it. I start feeding it and doing all of these things for it. I will come from school and just want to play with it. It was funny because, here in Kenya, chicken are for food. It's not like pets. We don't keep chicken as pets like they do in the West, which is usually crazy for me, but we don't do that. Chicken is meant to be eaten. But then I formed this special bond with this chicken. I loved it. I really did. And it used to protect me. I think it became a cock, I think. And so, or it was a hen. I don't know. But there I won't lie. So my friends, I would go and play with them, and if I did something wrong, I would run to where that chicken was, and it will fight them for me. It used to attack them. Like they will come find me, and it will attack them. And because of that, I loved it. Like I will go and hide behind that chicken, and it will fight them. It loved me, but it hated everybody else. Until one day, I come from school, and guess what? Hey, kuna kitoweo kwa sufuria. Like my grandmother had cooked this chicken. They had slaughtered it. My uncle slaughtered my chicken and my grandmother cooked it. I've never cried as much as I cried for that chicken that day. I cried so hard because I was like, why did you cook my chicken? And you didn't even tell me, you didn't even ask for my permission to do it. It was given to me. I should have been the one to say, yeah, you can cook it. For the first time in my life, and I think the only time, I did eat it. I've never been one to say no to chicken. Like, give me a plate, give me a bowl, give me, I don't know what, a bucket of chicken. I'll eat each and every piece that you give me. But that was the first time in my life I actually said, like, no, I'll not eat it. And why? Because it was my friend. You actually killed and cooked my friend. Why would you kill my chicken? Why would you cook it and expect me to eat it? It felt like a betrayal. I cried that day. They were eating during dinner, and I was looking at them eating it, and you know the way people eat chicken. I was like, I want to cry. I cried. I didn't just say I want to cry. I cried because hey, wanararua kuku yangu. It felt, it felt so painful. That was a trauma. I don't know why I never stopped eating chicken in general, but maybe it's because all the others that I eat, I've never formed any with them. And I think from that day I stopped. I don't form like bonds with animals. Well, if I had a cat, I would. If I had a dog, I would. But like chicken, no. Because I know ultimately itaishia kwa sufuria. So I'd rather not create a bond with it. That was one traumatic moment. Another one, again, as a kid. So Western province is very far, or whatever, however it's called nowadays. So county or whatever. We will travel, and you remember the way the road was Kitambo in the 90s. So the way from Vihiga to Nairobi, you just know how far it is. Or at that time, I don't know if you're coming from Kitale to Nairobi or whatever, but it was, at some point you end up in the same road. So My grandmother used to make me stand from the village to Nairobi. Usually we'll have a bag and then you put it on the nini floor of the bus and you'll sit on it. But this time for some reason, I don't know why, she kept telling me not to sit on the bags. Maybe because they had food in them or I don't know what was put inside of them, but she kept telling me not to sit. So can you imagine, kwa Eldoret Express, I stood in that bus from the village to Nairobi. I was tired. My little legs were tired. And I don't know, she had a bag that she was carrying on her lap, and then that other one on the floor, and it had food, I don't know. And those buses, like, these people made me hate Eldoret Express. These experiences, rather, not even people, the experiences made me hate Eldoret Express. Right now, if I'm traveling and I sit on the road, I just get some things, some, I don't know, this cold, I don't know what you call it, like through my body. I just, ugh, that bus. Because I stood all the way from the village to Nairobi. I was tired. I just remember crying in that bus. I remember just being tired and hungry. And my grandmother didn't have a lot of money, by the way. Hey, yo. Hey, by the way, we have come from far. Might be suffering right now, but Mali tumetoka ni mbali. She didn't have a lot of money, but she tried her best. That's one thing I'll always give her. She did try her best. But that day, I just never forget it. Even now, as an adult, I still remember. I still remember it. Another experience in Eldoret Express again. This time, I'm a little bit older. I'm in high school. So I went to Mdavadi Girls High School. It's in Western, and it's in Vihiga, to be precise. And so I will be made to board the bus by myself, because what I will do is either I will go like a day before and then sleep at my grandmother's sister's place. It's in Vihiga, it's a walking distance from the school. I will sleep there, then go to school the next day, or I will leave Nairobi at night and then arrive in the morning, then get to my grandma's sister's place, take a shower, then go to school. Or I would leave in the morning, arrive there, take a shower, and then change into my school uniform, then go to school. So I always did this. Every other time, whenever I would come to Nairobi, that was my thing when going back to school. And I didn't mind it. But then this one time, it was after Christmas holidays. What I had discovered was that because of everything we eat on Christmas Day and then on the 1st of January, and then because it used to be like we would have 1st of January, the 1st of January holidays on the 1st, and then we're like opening schools on the 2nd. So it's just like yesterday we were celebrating eating chicken, and today I'm going to school to eat githeri yenye kona mawe na weevils. God. So I realized something that will happen is that I will get a lot of heartburn on my journey to school. And so I was like, how do you get rid of heartburn? Blah, blah, blah. I read somewhere that you drink a lot of salted water. So I did this. Stupidly, I did this. I drank a lot of water that had salt in the morning because I would travel in that 2nd and then get to school. Get to my grandmother's sister's place, take a shower, then go to school. Another thing that was happening, I was also on my periods. They had just started, I think, that day or the previous day. I don't know. But it was around that time. So I leave again on Eldoret Express, and my uncle takes me there, and I'm like, okay, sawa sawa. This day, but there were a lot of things happen. This journey. Anyway, my uncle gives me 500. That was usually my pocket money for the entire term. Not that if first month, do first week and then more will come. No, 500 for 3 good months. I'm supposed to support myself with that. So I get into the bus, and my uncle, I don't know why he decided to give me the money in the bus. I don't know why my grandmother didn't give me the money just while we were at home so that I could pack it, because I used to put the money in between my books, and then when I get to school I would remove it. But then I don't know why my uncle did this. In the bus, that's when he gave me the money. I took it, I put it in between books, and then I had my bag. I sat down and we started our journey. Remember, I drank a lot of salt water. So on the way, I start feeling like peeing. Ndo tumetoka to Nairobi. I haven't even really reached like Nakuru. I'm already there at the front. There was this lady who was a makanga. There was a makanga lady, and then there was a man, and then there was another man also at the front, and they were talking and talking and talking. So I go there and I whisper to the lady, "Hey, could you ask the driver to please stop so that I can go and pee?" And this lady tells me, "Okay, I'll tell him. Just wait a few minutes because we haven't reached Nakuru yet. So I'll tell you." I go back and sit down. Nikajaribu kuvumilia. I tried holding. I go back and I'm like, "Please, Dere." I even shouted, like, "Dere, please, could you stop that so that I can go and pee?" And they're like, "Okay, we'll find a place for you." So there's this place they usually find near Nakuru. Mali kuna miti, there's a lot of trees there. So they want you to be in a place that you can hide. It's not like nowadays every bus service or every shuttle has like a place where they go and they park and people go and use the utilities in there. Kitambo, it used to be like on the roadside, by the roadside. Hapo, it stops, you go, you do your thing, kila mtu anachukua position yake, everybody takes their own kabush or whatever, you do your thing and then you go back into the bus and you continue with the journey. So I go again and plead. I think I stood up 3 or 4 times. The third time I begged this woman and begged the driver, and the driver was like, "Ngojea tu." By the time I was going the fourth time, I couldn't hold it anymore, and urine just started going down my leg. Like I don't know, ilitoka tu. And yeah, for the first time as an adult, I peed on myself. Okay, I wasn't an adult. I was still, I think it was form 2 or something like that. So I was still like 15, 16. But yo, that happened. And when this woman saw it, because I was crying now, I remember doing that and I was crying and I was telling this woman, "You see what you've made me do? I've begged you people, I've begged you." And this men now become embarrassed and they start looking away. Did I mention that I have my periods? Yes, I had my periods. So you can imagine how it looked. It was bad, bad, bad. And that happened just down my feet. It went. And the woman got embarrassed. The men were looking away. Now the people in the bus started yelling and shouting. And I was like, where were you all that time? All those times that I came here? Because I was sat at the back. Where were you all those times that I came to the front to beg this woman and to tell the driver to just stop? So eventually the driver stopped somewhere and I go outside. I change myself. I had this, I think I had carried water or I bought water. I don't remember what happened, but or somebody gave me a bottle of water. So I sort of washed myself a little bit and then I changed. Actually, I came back to change in the bus. Everybody had to leave. I went, helped myself properly, and then I came back and I had to change inside the bus because the people weren't in there. And so I did that and I had to put on, because I'd carried some more clothes, home clothes. So I changed into them and now the ride was smoother all the way to the village. After that, I didn't care. I was a kid, so I didn't care. If anything, the embarrassment went to those people. But now as an adult, I look back to that moment and I'm like, I'm still not like ashamed of it. It was embarrassing, but I was a kid and this adult failed me. So I give the blame to them, not to me. I don't carry it. I don't take it. I refuse it in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. That was on them, but it was still embarrassing to me. But as a kid, I don't care. I just walk by, do whatever I want to do, say whatever you want to say. I just didn't care. So I go back and sit down. We continue the journey. I get to the village, go take a shower, and then I change into my school uniform, wash the clothes that I had, those ones that had pee in them. I leave them hanging and I tell my grandma, I call her grandma, but I tell my grandma's sister what happened. And she's like, okay, when it's dry, I'll keep it for you, don't worry. And so I walk to school. I get to school and I have my shopping. I show because at the gate you're supposed to show your shopping and everything. And then I go to my books because I like, and where's your pocket money? I go to check my money. I removed each and every one of those books. The money was not there. My 500 for the whole term was not there. It wasn't. And I know the person who took it was the man who was sat next to me because he was there when my uncle was giving me the money. So when the bus stopped and I went outside first to help myself, this man remained in the bus. When I came back to change, that's when now he left. And that's why I was able to change in the bus. So this stupid man stole my money. A grown-ass man stole money from a school kid. Like, honestly, I was going to school and this person took my pocket money, and it was pocket money for the entire term. I wasn't going to be getting any more at Yapo Katikati or anything. So you can imagine how tough a time it was. So yeah, Eldoret Express and me, I see that bus and I get traumatized all over again. Because why? Hey. So I told the teachers, I don't know where it went. My uncle gave the money to me when I got onto the bus. I don't know what happened. Somebody must have taken it when I went outside to help myself or something. And she was like, I'm so sorry. So what are you going to do? I was like, I'll talk to somebody at home. Somebody will bring me something. So it's okay. And that's how I was allowed to go to school, because they didn't want that. Because if you don't have your own money, then you start taking money from other kids, blah, 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 and all of these things. And it was just wrong. Now, another one from Eldoret Express again. That bus, hey, this time I'm traveling overnight. Again, I think it was on New Year's, after New Year's, and I was traveling to school at night by myself. This time I had my uniform on or something, or I still had home clothes. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But I'm in the bus, and then we get somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's a forest there. Both sides of the road, forest. Alafu Eldoret Express ikaamua kujam kwa barabara. We had to park by the roadside, and I don't remember if another bus came from I don't know where to pick us. Ama they fixed that one. I don't remember. But I just remember being terrified. I hate traveling at night. I can travel at night if I have to, but I don't like it because of that night. Imagine in the middle of nowhere. Do you know how many things can happen in a forest? Like, because basically we're in a forest, both sides of the road, forest. Where the bus is, there was a forest that was cut down in order to enable a road to be made over there. To be made there. So you can imagine how I was feeling. I was terrified. And then I know nobody from this bus. So if people start, wanting to go by themselves, kila mtu ajisaidie, I'll remain by myself. And I know for a fact that sometimes drivers run away. Because we have been left once na matatu huku Eastland somewhere. And the driver and the makanga just got into the matatu and ran away. So I know they can do that. But I was terrified. Uzuri, it's a well-known brand. So the bus, they couldn't do something like that. But still, this bus, it made me suffer. It made me fear. But I don't know, somehow it was fixed and we got back on, or we got onto another one. I don't remember really. And we went to school. I arrived in the village. And yeah, I think I went to my grandmother's sister's place first. I think so. I slept for a while before I went to school. But still, I think from then I told my grandma I never want to travel at night again. So whenever I had to go, I would wake up in the morning, be huko hivyo. I don't remember what it's called. Niende huko hivyo chini. There's a name we use. Niende huko, nipande, nitoke niende. Until like when I became an adult and I could afford to take myself to the village, I was like, and then shuttles were introduced. I was like, Mimi, na shuttles forever. If I'm changing into a bus, it's easy coach. Otherwise, wacha nika. If I cannot afford it, let me stay. Because I'm not going huko chini kupanda Eldoret Express again. That thing traumatized me, a good one. Again, Eldoret Express. But this one, I won't even blame it on the bus because it wasn't the bus. It's just another traumatic experience. So as I've said, I used to be given 500 shillings for pocket money for 3 months. Now, when you're about to close schools, they would ask our parents to send money for fare kwa watu wanakuja Nairobi. The fare used to be 800. And my grandmother, I love that woman to death. But she will send the exact amount, like 800 flat. Reason being, from town to home, we used to have a courtesy van, so a staff van for Gertrude's, like where we used to stay. So that one was free at the time. So like I don't need any spare money. And it's not like I had a lot of pocket money such that I've remained with a little something. Nah. I will have, like, I've already exhausted my pocket money, and now fare ni 800 flat. It came, I would have paid, and that's it. My name is on the list of the people going to Nairobi. In the morning, closing day, Eldoret Express imekuja imepark, watu wa Nairobi waingie. I do. I used to sit with this lady. Her name is June. June is a doctor now. Like, hey, mashallah. May God bless her. Like, I will sit with June. And June usually was from Kisumu, but I don't know who she used to come and visit in Nairobi. I don't remember. Because even when we were going for Funky's like music festival, I would sit with her on the same, like we used to sit together. So it just made sense that even on the bus ride to Nairobi, we would sit together. But it wasn't always, because sometimes she wouldn't come to Nairobi. So I don't remember who I would sit with, but yeah. So tunafika pale Delamere. And people who have been through that route, they know. Delamere is where it used to happen back then. So the bus will park, and then people will go inside there to buy things. There's a Weasel sausage za Delamere ziunukia. Hey, people will buy fries, and they will buy sausages and smokies, and I don't know what else, all of these things. And then they will come back with them in the bus. Poor me. What I used to do for myself is, no matter how little money I had, I would make sure at least I had, was it 20 bob or money, 40 bob? I don't know. Like around 50 bob. The reason being, at Kericho, there's this petrol station the bus used to enter to fuel, and they used to sell crisps. So I see these crisps nowadays being pelted around like for 50 bob, but back then it was like a bigger packet, but it used to go for 20 shillings, I think. And so I would buy like two and just put them in the bag. If I didn't have all that money, I had just 20 bob, I'll just put it in the bag. And so when we go to Delamere, when people have come back into the bus with their fries and their sausages and their kebabs and their nini, I would now open my crisps, start eating them, and drink some water. June sometimes would be a doll and share whatever she had bought, but hey, that thing traumatized me a big one, so badly that nowadays, if I do not have money to buy something for myself on the road, then I'm not traveling. What I do with the fare? Fare for the shuttle or easy coach, but I also have to have money to buy something on the road. It doesn't have to be something expensive. I can even just buy a bottle of soda like for 80 bob. That's fine. Or I just buy, I don't know, even if it's just a sausage, I do not care. Or a cup of coffee. It doesn't matter. But as long as when we alight in Nakuru to go to the washrooms, when I come back, I'll stop at the shop and buy something for myself. It doesn't matter if my tummy has issues so I can't eat anything. I just have to buy the soda and just drink it on the way. Because I was like, I couldn't have suffered like that as a kid. And then also as an adult, I put myself in the same situation. There was this one time I was coming from the village. We get to Nakuru. There's this place where the shuttle that I usually take stands. And so I'm there. I've just come from the washroom. I'm buying something to eat. And this lady, a young girl, I think she was either 18, 19, there 20. And I think she was coming to see somebody in Nairobi. Amma, she was going to the village. I don't know which side she was going to. But she's there and she's calling this guy on the phone. Like, hey, niko Nakuru. Uliniambia nikifika nikuambie unitumie pesa ninunue kitu ya kukula. I became that kid in high school again that moment. I know I couldn't offer her my money or anything like that because, well, you don't know people. And I didn't have like so much to spare or something. But still, just hearing her say that, because she called this person a couple of times. Mbona ushike? Nimekupigia sana na ushiki. Nini, and she was complaining. I don't know if this guy sent the money or if he did, because I had to walk away from her. The moment I had that conversation, I just remembered those days. I felt tears coming to my eyes and I walked away. I had already gotten what I had gone there for, but I just it hit somewhere. And you know, when you grow up after experiencing such stupid things in high school or whatever, you think that you'll outgrow them until you hear something that reconnects you back to that moment, and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, I didn't heal from that. So that was a very traumatic experience for me, and that happened. So I'm sorry to her. I don't know. I don't know if she got the money or if she didn't, but I hope she did. Cause hakuna kitu mbaya kama putting your fate in other people's hands. It's such a traumatic experience. And now, especially in the situation that I am in right now, where sometimes I lack and I have to call people and be like, hey, I don't have this and this and this. Could you please help? That waiting moment, that waiting period of will they answer, will they not answer, will they help, will they not help? Like, will they get upset with me for asking for help? Will they think that I'm a burden? Will they think, yo, kuna vitu zingine no human should have to experience, but unfortunately I have, and I'm still experiencing some of those moments. But yeah, that one, I have to have money for my fare for a shuttle, and I have to have money to eat something on the road. It does not matter. Even if I'll just buy gum and chew it the whole way, but I have to have money. Let me be chewing that gum because I do not want to buy something to eat. But tukifika mahali kwa njia and I start feeling hungry, I can tell the driver, ki please nisimamishe mahali fulani, buy something to eat, and he'll accept. Because it's a shuttle. And it only has like 7 or at most 11 people. So he will have to stop. Now, the final one that I'm going to talk about today is, so again, as a kid, we were at my grandmother's home, like where she was born, her mother's home. So we had gone there, and my uncle was raised there. One of my uncles was raised there. And so as a kid, he used to love me. I would go there, he would carry me on his shoulders, he would take me around with him, blah, 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 all these things. I don't know what changed, by the way, when he finished school and came to live with us. But at that age, he really, really loved me. And I loved him too. I would call him uncle and everything. Nowadays, to even call him uncle feels weird because of everything I've been through in their hands. But yeah, so it was a lovely moment. Now, we had played with a lot of my cousins the day before we traveled. I had eaten a lot of maize. Now, what we were doing, we would go to the shamba with these cousins of mine from the village. We would take the maize, hata zenye hazijakoma. We will come and then tunachoma hazivi vizuri, and we eat them. I ate a lot of maize. I love maize. I love maize up to date. But I don't know why that I don't know why that experience never made me not want to eat maize. It just made me not want to eat the other thing. But maize, I love maize up to now. Naweza ikula choma bora ikuwe kauka vizuri. Like, I don't like the one that you prick and it's still like tunaitanga maziwa, but si maziwa, like it's still watery now. But I love maize. So we ate a lot of maize that day. We did. We ate and we played and we ate guavas. We ate a lot of guavas. We ate a lot of maize. Now, the next day, we leave early in the morning. My uncle has me on his shoulders, and we walk and we walk and we walk up to the bus stage. We get there and we are waiting for, again, Eldoret Express, because there is just used to be either one bus that goes your route or something like that. So we are waiting. But I don't think we got Nini. We got a shuttle. I don't know how, but we got a shuttle that day. Like a Nissan, the 14-seater, before, COVID happened and then they were reduced. And actually before the luxury shuttles came, because we didn't get a Nini Eldoret Express, it was a Nissan that day. So we are waiting and we are waiting and we are waiting at a place called Mdete. People who have been to Vihiga, they know the place. So we're waiting at Mdete and we're waiting for a bus, but nothing is coming. So my uncle, I start feeling hungry, and my uncle goes like, kuja nikubaie mandazi. So we go to watu wa kuuza mandazi kwa barabara, and there's a vendor there selling mandazi, and my uncle buys, I think, 2 for me and 1 for him, or 2 for himself as well. I don't know if we had it with tea or just the mandazi, but I remember the mandazi, and we ate the mandazi. So The Nissan arrives and my uncle bids us goodbye because he is supposed to go back to school. And as we're coming back to Nairobi, my grandmother and myself. So we get into the Nissan and we start the journey. Oh my goodness. It did not take long before I started like, hey, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach. And I'm like, Coco. Because in my mother tongue, we call grandma like Goku. But then I don't know why I used to call her Coco as a kid. So I'm like, Coco, Dumbo. Oh my God. The driver has to stop the van. I go, hapo tu, kando ya gari. Aki, being a child is a blessing, yo. Being a child is good because imagine as an adult just going up, just hapo tu, kando ya gari, and you put yourself down, the people will be looking at you like you're crazy. So I did that and I emptied my stomach. We got back. My grandma came, helped me clean up, and then we went again after a short while. Again, I don't remember how many times I made the driver stop, but we stopped a lot on that journey because of my tummy. Now, I know for certain it was the maize and the guavas from the previous day, but in my mind, what registered ilikuwa hizi mandazi za barabara. Like those mandazis were the culprit. And for that reason, I do not buy mandazi on the road ever, like ever. There's a friend of mine who sells mandazi down here, but I never buy mandazi from him. I've never eaten mandazi that he has cooked, and I don't. If I'm supposed to eat mandazi, I'll cook for myself. And I make the best mandazis, I'll say that. I'll brag about that. I make some of the best mandazis around here. And so I just don't eat mandazi from the street vendors, like at all, because of that moment. It gave me trauma, and it's something I don't think I'll ever outlive or outgrow, rather. I just don't think I'll ever heal from it. And I know, like in my mind, I know it's the guava and the maize. And my grandmother says it as well. She goes like, niyo maindi na mapera mlikula. But my mind, what triggered it was this mandazi because alitumia mafuta gani and all of that. And same uncle made me also not want to eat macaroni, whatever, mac and cheese, macaroni, that. So there's this time my grandmother had gone to work and we had macaroni in the house and my uncle decided to cook and to cook with chicken. So this chicken was left, we had bought it for dinner, but my uncle was like, tupike tu tuchukue supu, ndo tukule na macaroni. Yo, it was the oil from the chicken and it got to this macaroni and we ate it and my tummy, yo, hey. I have one of the most sensitive stomachs around and that just didn't do it for me. From that day to date, I do not eat macaroni. I hate them. And I know it was that was the reason why, the oil from the chicken, but I don't know why it registers in my mind that this thing is just bad. And so up to date from that day, I do not eat macaroni and I do not like it. If I come to a place and you have macaroni and spaghetti, I'd rather you make spaghetti, don't make macaroni. And if you have to make macaroni, then just know that I will not eat it. Nichemshe mchele. I'll eat with whatever stew that you have prepared for the macaroni, but I'm not eating that. So yeah, that is my childhood trauma. At least the ones that I can talk about and laugh about in hindsight, even though they're still traumatic to me. But at least those ones I can talk about. The others I don't think I'll ever be able to talk about in this podcast. But maybe one day, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be able to open up about them. But these ones are ones that I thought about and I was like, yeah, these things happen to me and they still give me trauma to date because I still think about them from time to time because I'm an overthinker, I'm one of those people who could be going to sleep and then I remember, like, do you remember that time when you were 2 years old when this happened to you? And I start thinking about it and overthinking and analyzing and overanalyzing it, and then I drive myself crazy until I fall asleep. So yeah. Those moments, those traumatic moments from my childhood usually come up every once in a while, and I overthink, I overanalyze, and all of these things, and I just drive myself crazy, and I have to willingly and just tell myself that don't think about that. Stop doing that. Stop. And then I have to stop. So yeah. It's usually crazy. But yeah, that's my life. That's me. I appreciate myself and I appreciate the journey. I appreciate where I am. Even though it's not where I want to be, I'm still grateful to God that I'm here and I can still get to do this. Okay. So go down on the comment section below and tell me your childhood traumas, if any, if you relate to any of what I've said, if you have experienced any of what I've experienced, or tell me your own experiences. If not here, go to my Instagram, Mimi's Musings Podcast, and tell me over there as well. I haven't updated for the past 2 weeks on Instagram because phone and after that happened, like getting back the passwords and everything in order to be able to go there, it has been hard. But I think by the time this episode will be going out, I would have already done that so that you can go back to Instagram and be able to comment there. So you can DM me on Instagram, tell me your experiences there if you don't want to share them on the comment section below. But I'd rather that you comment. As I said, please just comment and tell me, whatever. Just say whatever. I'll listen, I'll understand, and I'll be very, very appreciative. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. Immediately you start listening, just hit the like button. And if you haven't by now and you've gotten to this moment, please just scroll down and hit the like button. Tafadhali, tafadhali, tafadhali. Please, please, please. Just do it, okay? Because I'll be very, very appreciative. Sawa, sawa. Yeah, and see you next Wednesday for another episode, okay? Bye bye now. Love you.